Less than only 1 year ago, videos were circulating the internet saying, is Derek Smith the next Levon killer? Will Derek Smith be the guy to beat Levon? People were looking at his height, his strength, his dedication to the sport, with really the only thing lacking was his amount of time in the sport. Well, fast forward to today, after a couple hard supermatch results, the optimism has started to fade, and it makes us ask the question, were we wrong about Derek? Now I want to start this video by saying I am a huge fan of Derek. I'm a fan of the man and the arm wrestler. He's one of the most charismatic, positive people in the game, and I'm not just saying that. On a similar note, he's probably one of the most intimidating people that you'll ever meet across the table. And this video is not meant to be a slam, it is more meant to be a reality check. Part of the problem is the media and the fans of arm wrestling are always trying to look for the next guy. Right now it's Levon, and it's like we're always looking for the new shiny toy, and we're always trying to replace what we have at the top instead of just appreciating what we have at the top. And Levon has quite frankly been there for so long that people are almost looking for someone to beat him. There's just something in us that always makes us root for the underdog and want to see David defeat Goliath. Which is really ironic in this situation because Derek's like 6'8" or 6'9", so the analogy doesn't work, but I think you understand it. So naturally, in looking for someone to beat Levon, we look for someone physically intimidating like Alex Kudecha, Vitali, or Derek Smith. Someone who's got the height, they got the strength, and they got the power to beat him. And as we know from history, at least at the time, Vitali was the only guy who even put the brakes on Levon and was the only guy to hold him at the center of the table for a while. So I think people kind of projected that maybe it's a tall guy who could actually give Levon trouble. Thus puts Derek Smith in the mix. Now looking back, this may have been a mistake. We may have prematurely shot his name up there where it didn't belong. But even Derek himself had proclaimed that he wanted to be the number one in the world. And as far as I know, he actually still proclaims that. So regardless whether we were projecting it or that he was projecting it, Derek Smith got labeled as maybe the guy who could knock him off. I honestly think a lot of this had to do with the top 5 guys in America have been about the same guys for the last decade. And when you have the same guys at the top for a long time, you just want a little bit of a shake-up. So fairly or unfairly, whatever. We threw Derek up there and we projected him to a level maybe he wasn't ready for. Last year, after Derek's match with Tim Bresnan is when his hype really started to take off. He kind of walked through Tim. We didn't know what level he was on, and to be honest, Derek didn't even know what level he was on. Shortly after this match, Derek was invited out to East versus West, where he would face Morozov. Unfortunately for Derek, we didn't know how strong Morozov actually was. Of course, now Morozov is going off to face Levon, so that kind of shows how good Morozov was. So losing to him, it's not actually as bad as it may have thought, but then Derek went on to face Ravaz. Now Ravaz had just beat Michael Todd, and Derek, with prep time, went to face Ravaz where it was the same result. It was an easy win for Ravaz, 3-0. So even though Derek lost to Morozov and Ravaz, we knew those guys were absolute killers, and we thought maybe he's still on a high level, but just not quite there. And then just this past week, Derek had a match with Austin Jaggers where he lost 3-2. And I think for myself and the arm wrestling community, this is where we started to become just a little bit more pessimistic. I think in most people's eyes, including myself, Derek was the heavy favorite going into this. Derek did start really strong. He won the first 2 rounds, and then Austin Jaggers was able to put on the brakes and come back and win the match 3-2. Now, I don't want to disrespect Austin Jaggers. Congratulations to you, sir. That was a great match. Good job. I think it was just after this match where the arm wrestling community started to fully realize and accept that maybe Derek Smith was not going to be the elite level that we thought maybe he would be. And at the age that he is, maybe we don't think that he can get there anymore. Although I will say, Derek, you look really young for how old you are. Like, really young. But as for Derek, I think we just prematurely pushed him and projected him just a little bit farther than maybe that he was actually capable of. Maybe we bit off a little more than we could chew. But it does leave us with a good question. Where does Derek Smith go from here? Personally, in my mind, I wanted to see Derek versus Sanders for a long time. I still think it'd be a good match. I would have Sanders as the favorite, but that is a match I would love to see. Another match I would really like to see would be Derek Smith versus Matt Mask. 2 giants at the table. That would be one furious, epic match, and I would definitely love to see that one. When 2 guys are on a losing streak and no one wants to lose, you know it's going to be an epic match. That means a lot to them, and I really think someone should make that happen. I'm looking at you, Paul Italia. I'm looking at you, Inga Terzi. But that's all for me, guys. Please leave a comment on who you think Derek should fight next. Who do you think Austin Jagged should fight next? I know he has intentions of going to the East versus West qualifiers, and he has intentions of making it. All the best to you, Austin. I hope you're the best. This is not a video against you, bashing you. It's just a reality check for the situation. And I got one more serious note here. I think as the arm wrestling community as a whole, we should just stop projecting people as who will be the next #1 guy. It's really unfair. Let's just let people live their lives, let them work their way up to the top and earn their stripes. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. On an unrelated note, did anyone watch Reno Mass's latest video where he dominated everyone left and right arm? Now, I don't want to get carried away, but I swear, this could be the next guy to beat LeVon.